Hi. Orlando says hi. I know this might look weird. I don't know. I think maybe you can see two different, like you see this, there's like the Instagram version of this, and there's the YouTube version of what you see here. Yeah, pumpkin. Hold on. So I'm going to play like some songs. Like I've been creating stuff on Suno.com. And I was going to wait until tomorrow to live stream, but then I thought, you know what? I'm going to live stream tonight. All right. So, check out these songs. And then I'm going to take my camera off there and play the first one. Isn't
It's
that
a #few.
turn this up. Isn't that beautiful? Ah, I just love it. I was going to wait until tomorrow to stream. And this, by the way, is also going out on Twitter. And I'm experimenting with different things. For example, I don't know if you can, if I change it. Okay, look, it's on the left. I'm showing that on X, I'm experimenting and streaming in the Instagram format. And then over here, I'm doing, for YouTube, I'm doing the 16:9 or the 6, whatever the thumbnail for the framing for, I should know this. I think it's 6:9 or 16:9 or something like that. I'll look it up. But so yeah, I thought that I would. Now I'm hiding it, but I am on X right now at the same time. I'm actually double streaming tonight too. So I'm just kind of, I don't know, I just got in the mood to kind of play around with things, like play around with technology. StreamYard has a thing where you can double stream. Like at first when I put this on YouTube, I had to take it down because it made 2 live streams at once. And there was one that would be in vertical and the other one would be in horizontal. And I'm like, no, I don't want YouTube to do 2 streams. And then I changed it and I went, okay, so I erased that one. I go, well, let me experiment and do it on X. So on X, I'm in vertical if you're watching. And you know what? I'm going to go, I don't really have my makeup done and everything like that. I mean, I have makeup on, but I didn't refresh myself or do the Philip Thomas Roth cream. But who cares? I don't have to be perfect, but this is me here right now. I just have this on, I'm sitting in my bed and I just have I have a little desktop that I work at and, do my schoolwork or write or whatever, or do my streams sometimes. So, yeah. So I don't know if I don't really feel like having my camera on all night, but, I just thought that I would show you how things are. So then if I went like this, let me see, then then in the vertical I'm looking like this now. So I think I'll just let it go a little bit. It's kind of weird. I mean, I don't know if it's this, you're seeing both things on YouTube. It's called the Mars, okay, so on StreamYard, it's called the Mars thing. It's like the new Mars streaming or something like that. And so I'm kind of just experimenting with it. So anyway, I'm going to turn my camera off right now for a second. All right. Well, happy Veterans Day. And thank you so much for all the veterans that are out there. And let's get this party started because I got a few things to talk about.
He ain't no Saint Germain, no crown, no name. He plays the game sharp as a flame. Who's to blame for the stolen fame? A shadow dance in the devil's frame. Go in the rabbit hole, losing control, spinning wild on a stripper pole. Laughing loud, all for the lows, but baby, that's not my rabbit hole. City lights and sirens scream, truth and lies blend like a dream. Wicked smiles, a clever scheme, chasing gold in the neon gleam. Go in the rabbit hole, losing control, spinning wild on the stripper pole. Laughing loud, all for the lows, but baby, that's not my rabbit hole. Fast, can't find the ground. Echoes of chaos all around. You chose this dance, this mad parade, but not every choice gets accolades. Go in the rabbit hole, losing control, spinning wild on the stripper pole. Laughing loud, all for the lows, but baby, that's not my rabbit hole. Spinning wild on the stripper pole. Laughing loud, all for the lows, but baby, that's not my rabbit hole. City lights and sirens scream, truth and lies blend like a dream. Wicked smiles, a clever scheme, chasing gold in the neon gleam. Going down the rabbit hole, losing control. Spinning wild on the stripper pole, laughing loud all for the lows. But baby, that's not my rabbit hole.
All right, welcome back to Not My Rabbit Hole. And I bet some of you guys are thinking, damn, we're almost like 15 minutes into the stream. You're like, bitch, get on with it. And so, yeah. You know what I got to say to that? Fuck you. Okay, just kidding. Yeah, a lot's been going on in my world, by the way. Just to let you know that I had a really busy week last week, and I wrote 3 articles. I've actually shared them on my timeline in the Collegian, and they're all about artificial intelligence. And I witnessed some really exciting things. Like I went to this one expo, and it was the Artificial Intelligence and Technology Expo, and there was a robotic dog there, and I even got some footage. And I don't know, I'm trying to set up a social media post with the guy who I think is behind the creation of the dog, because I wrote about it in the article. And I don't know, I want to do a social media video to pump the article that I wrote, and then also just do a video with the robotic dog and the and the professor. You know, I think that'd be really cool. Yeah, so I've been looking at and witnessing some very exciting things that are happening on the forefront of technology and artificial intelligence. And then I'm also writing articles about how it is integrated into academia and art and the production of dairy and data collecting. And I mean, it's pretty interesting how it's being implemented, and it's also interesting to look at the negative aspect, like what is it doing to our environment, the data centers, the pollution. There's also issues with identity and privacy, because you can have your entire face mapped out so where a drone can find you. I mean, there's also ChatGPT psychosis. There's a lot of things that, as AI and as technology is being brought into our society and into our workforce and pretty much everybody's daily lives, it's unbelievable how many people have like Apple Watches and they're hooked up and they're looking at their wrist to like have their blood pressure taken. It's like it's kind of like you're thinking, okay, are we getting connected completely, our body and technology as well? And there was this one lecture that I sat in on where they showed like a brain map where they can put it on somebody's head, and like it's designed so that you can think and make something happen. You can think and make a drone move. And I'm like, wow, it's here. Like, it's almost like everything that, super soldiers have been talking about, or like, this media has been talking about. I'm like, wow, it's really happening. Or, you can, you have it on your head, and then, you can make, if you have you're using a mechanical arm, you can make the arm move by your thoughts. Like, guys, we are there now. We are there now. And so this semester has been really fascinating to me in the research that I have done into artificial intelligence and how it's being implemented into society. So yeah, I really was planning on streaming tomorrow, but there's just certain things that I just really want to talk about tonight. and not because, oh, it bothers me so much that I have to talk about it, although it's a little bit like that. It's like, let's just clear this palette here so I don't have to think about it anymore, right? If you understand what I'm saying here, because, online, in my experience of what is happening online, or the things that I read on people's, timelines, or, the videos they make about me, and, the just stuff that's happening, right? That's happening. But there's also things that I'm just observing that's actually really going on. Like, if you were to analyze the behavior of a particular group of people who seem to possess a certain ideology, and they can be extremely abusive, even to the point of smacking their dog, which, we're going to, get into that a little bit. And because I am so busy right now, my name is Terry Joyce. And also, I'm known as Terry Joyce Randolph. If this is the first time you're coming and gonna find this video and go, what? Like, the title is, the Toothless Ninja, and what did I call this? The Toothless Ninja, and what did I title this even? It's pretty quirky. Here, let me go. Oh my God, she doesn't know what she titled her show. Look how messed up she is. She's definitely an alcoholic. Okay. Yes. I am. It's called the Toothless Ninja and the Dog Smacker. All right. This show that you're listening to right now on Not My Rabbit Hole is called the Toothless Ninja and the Dog Smacker. That's crazy. That's crazy talk. What? How could it be called that? Who are those people? Well, if you're in an echo chamber, right? If you exist in an echo chamber on YouTube that happens to, be associated with a certain movement or a certain ideology, like anti-Semitism and racism. Absolutely, that's happening here. You see, I think that's the hardest component about what's happening here for me. And, I have gone through, a lot of bullshit online and a lot of harassment, doxing, people calling my job, contacting my employers, sending emails to professors that are part of the faculty of their newspaper, saying things about me of, I don't know, how I shouldn't graduate or be a journalist or be writing on a newspaper or tutoring anthropology. Literally, okay, who cares what people say about you or what cartoons they want to make about you? Because you know what? It's true. When you've decided to be in the public eye, when you've decided to do a podcast, when you've decided to be a stand-up comedian, when you've decided to be out there and hopefully have enough eyes on you so that you could actually have scrutiny. Because it's a scrutiny world. And it's pretty unforgiving. Let's just face it. So, like, for me as a person, and maybe this is my saving grace, is that I already was on national television and was on and had people in forums talking about me and whatever they thought or whatever, and this and that, and blah, 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 blah. And, I would talk to my mom and I go, Mom, I call her up and I go, these people are just, there's a lot of people talking about me. I mean, there was even an online forum, because we didn't have videos and this and that like we have right now. There was an online forum, and they would say something like they would just do shows about it. They go, she's off the show, but people can't stop talking about her. And you know what? I think it's pretty cool. Like that's what comes with this. Whatever media you are in, whether you're on television or you're on a YouTube channel or you're writing articles and you're a journalist, because people don't like what journalists write. Publications get criticized. People want to stop you from saying your free speech. There is always an opposition when you step into the action like that. And I know that. Boy, do I know that. So maybe that's why I'm still able to get a 4.0 my last semester before I graduated, while I was doing 16 units. Meanwhile, I'm getting letters from Thomas Schoenberger with retraction letters and threats of this and that, threats I'm going to get you for copyright and blah, 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 blah. And the same shit that's happening today. I showed some pictures of images to somebody that was a professional type of somebody, which I'm just really not going to go into. And they scrolled and they looked at what it was and they go, oh my God, I can't believe you can focus on anything with this going on. What can we do to protect you and make your life better? And I know that there's people out there that are going to sit back and, and she thinks this and she's just crazy. Oh, she's drunk, blah, blah, blah. It's always going to be something like that. Oh, the porn star, blah, 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 blah. I tell you one thing I know for sure. I know who I am. And it isn't those things that's being said about me right now. And there are people who know who I am and what shows I've been on. And that includes Nathan Stoltman's Lift the Veil, even though he denies it. So let's just get that straight right now, everybody. Who's watching? I think I got 5 people lurking in on this. And so, because of some of the stuff that I'm going to share tonight, I'm going to try to share what has been the better side of YouTube for me this week. I'm going to start with sharing that, which I appreciate first. And then I'm going to go on, because really what this is about, I'm going to say what it's really about. it's really about the racism that is like a red thread in the middle of all of this. That in some ways, and I can't say everybody whom I might talk about or whatever that may be not favorable is of that ilk. But there are people who are and have said it on the internet, and they are associated airplane out there. They're associated to perpetuating right-wing fringe propaganda on the internet and on YouTube. And within that movement that I am speaking of, it's kind of multi-layered. It's got like Bundy Ranch, 17th letter of the alphabet, puzzles, esoteric knowledge, mind manipulation, cult-like thinking. People that had mental breakdowns because of it. Damage has been done to a lot of people. And some of the people aren't even alive anymore. And it has been known that within that community, including what happened on Kiwi Farms, there are people that had unalived themselves. And there are people within this community that are associated to that website, which is a hate forum. And I have to say, I am absolutely alarmed at the racism that's happened. Yes, today is Veterans Day. And we have fought for what we believed was freedom, for democracy, and for humans and other countries. Woodrow Wilson, the League of Nations. And we have had our soldiers and our family members fight for that ideal. And we also had people that came out like Martin Luther King Jr. and said, I have a dream. I have a dream that one day little white boys and little black boys and white girls and boys, and I'm paraphrasing, holding hands together. I have seen the coming of the Lord. There are black soldiers that have fought for America. There are Asian soldiers that have fought for America. There's all kinds of nationalities that have fought for what we think is so special about America. And we have these fake patriots online talking about how the Holocaust never happened. And flat out saying they're a white nationalist. And using those sources against people that someone like David Schroeder accuses of trafficking children. That's how fucked up this shit is. That's what Not My Rabbit Hole reports on it. I might even change the name of this show. I guess what I needed to do was rant just a little bit, because I think I'm entitled to that at this point. So I'm going to clean the palette again with one of these cool songs that I made on Suno.com. And what I put into the prompt was classical crossover string, 2 cellos, Jersey club trap, indie rock on the first 2. And the difference between the last one is there was no Jersey club tap, and it was rock, hard rock instead. And these songs are freaking fantastic. So I'm going to go with the one that was actually hard rock, and let's rock out before I come back. right, welcome back to Not My Rabbit Hole. And for the next part, I thought I'd start off with Urban Disciple. He did a video yesterday, and I did listen to the entire stream as it was happening. And it was titled I Stick with Terry. And so I thought that I would play a little bit of that and do some commentary on it tonight before we get to the other things that are a lot more difficult to look at and talk about. So here we go. And I think sometimes he takes a while before he really kicks in on his stream. So I'll just go ahead and talk a little bit until we hear his voice come into this part. And if you are watching on X in this format here in the vertical, let me try to, yeah, I guess you're seeing it okay there. Maybe I'll also put my camera on a little bit. Hey, everybody. Here I am in the smaller frame there on both cameras. So, yeah. So Urban Disciple, if you're just listening to this for, you don't know, there are a lot of people in this certain group that I'm talking about that have said racial slurs to him and made some very, very inappropriate comments. I think comments that violate YouTube's guidelines and for hate speech. And maybe I should talk about how hate speech works in the Constitution, and then it also works on social media. In the Constitution, hate speech it's allowed. It's covered underneath the First Amendment. It only becomes, let's say, citable or criminal if you incite violence with that hate speech. And it's really got to be really obvious that's what's happening. But on social media, if you well, you know what? Let's look up at here. Let me stop this for just a second here. I'm gonna take my camera off for a moment, and I'm gonna go and look up. Boy, he really does take time before he gets here. Hold on. I just want to make sure everything's.
You wanted me to go on there so bad.
Okay, yeah. Here he is.
Damn.
Here, let me go back.
Really dumb people money. And they spend it on drugs, spend it on whatever they want, and they give it to them because they want to.
Hold on. I'm gonna go to the beginning. Yeah, we're gonna have to wait. Because I want to get the whole from beginning to end. Not beginning to end, but just at least I just want to get the beginning of it. So I'm going to look up hate speech community guidelines. On YouTube. It just okay, yeah. YouTube's hate speech policy prohibits content that incites violence or hatred against groups based on protected attributes like race, religion, gender, age, or sexual orientation.
Yo, what up, people? It is your boy, your favorite boy, the Urban Disciple.
Okay, let me finish this. Just to kind of prompt this, all right? As we're going here. YouTube's hate speech policy prohibits content that includes violence or hatred against groups based on protected attributes like race, religion, gender, age, or sexual orientation. Examples include dehumanizing content, praising violence, or using slurs and stereotypes. The policy is enforced through technology and human review, with penalties ranging from content removed to channel termination for repeat violations. Prohibited content, incitement to hatred or violence, content that promotes violence or discrimination against a group based on protected characteristics, hateful stereotypes and slurs, using racial, religious, or other stereotypes that promote hatred based on protected characteristics, dehumanization, describing a group as subhuman, like comparing them to animals, insects, or disease, glorification of violence, praising or glorifying violence against individuals or groups based on their protected status. Superiority claims, content alleging a group is superior to justify discrimination or exclusion. Protected attributes, YouTube's hate speech policy protects against discrimination based on attributes including but not limited to race or ethnic origin, religion, sexual orientation, gender or gender identity, age, caste, disability, immigration status, victims of a major violent event. Enforcement penalties. Reporting users can report content that violates the guidelines through built-in reporting tools. Enforcement. YouTube uses a combination of technology and human reviewers to enforce its policies. Warnings and strikes. Violations may result in warning, which can be cleared by completing a policy training quiz. Receiving multiple strikes within 90 days can lead to channel termination. Termination. A channel may be terminated by repeated violations, severe abuse, or content that is dedicated to promoting policy violations. Appeals. Creators can appeal decisions if they believe their content was incorrectly removed. Okay, so that is that. I didn't mean to do that. Let us continue with Urban Disciple.
Thanks for a total of 6 coming up in here, coming to check this out. I'm sure you were intrigued by the title. And I'm going to get into some background on some things. I'm going to, of course, say why I made the decision to do this stream, title it what I did. I know you're excited to know that. But before we get into all of those good things, we're going to have to address some people leaving some comments. So we have none of your business. I scammed $8,000 from the community. Well, I'll say this in response. There's some dumb people that give really dumb people money. And they spend it on drugs, spend it on whatever they want, and they give it to them because they want to. Is that a scam? We all know better than to trust people at face value. We know better. Especially I'm 41 years old. I know better than that. So you got scammed. That's on you. All right. So White Falcon Blazing Scar. So easy. Wait. So easy to get you to go live. Boom. I made you go live. Love it. One, we can see that Blazing Scar is practicing that stuff again. You think she can exhibit power over people, make them go live. You couldn't make me jump on your live stream from Friday. Wasn't it Friday? You wanted me to go on there so bad. I was busy. I'll jump on live streams and do live streams when I'm led to. But thank you. I want you to feel important, though, Blazing Scar. Just for argument's sake. Oh, hold on. just for non-argument's sake, I don't really want to argue with you today. Yes, you made me go live, okay? You made me see that Terry is nothing but a doll. Terry is good people, and you're not going to take me away from Terry, okay? Me and Terry are going to be getting real acquainted, and Blazing Scar is just going to be sitting over there jealous, angry, taking credit for things she didn't even accomplish. You see, it's not even that I'm trying to do this. It's just what's going to happen. I know you very well, Blazing Scar. We've been acquainted for how long? And you think Urban Disciple don't know you? Well, you're dead wrong. Okay. What we want to do is give everybody a shot at love. And Terry has earned that. And speaking of it, I stick with Terry. I see you dissing and dogging Terry. You can say all the stories you want. I know you started this, Blazing. I know how you operate. There's one thing that really is fun to me. Here was fun. You ready? I can say anything in this world, and you have a response. But there is one thing. I've been trying to get this answer, and you just won't give it to me. Why? Are you ready for the question? Maybe you'll answer it today. Why did you say that I worked with a woman abuser through me teenage girls? Did you feel like answering that today? You said something in your stream that was very interesting. You said Terry was the reason I left because I was so ashamed or something. I can't even remember what you said. That's how important it was. It was important enough for me to respond to what you say, tell you that's total bullcrap. If anything, Terry has shown me that I have to eat my words. I said in a stream that Terry shouldn't even focus on. She should be doing other things. She's a celebrity. And you are a news diva. We're going to be nice to you today. A news diva. Scott, what's going on? Jilly Fisher, Kimberly, welcome to everybody. And White Falcon, Blazing Scar, no one's stalking you. You guys happen to just come to the same channel and they're stalking you.
Okay, here goes my cat. Hey, Orlando. Come here, baby. Come on. Okay, so, let me just fill people in right now about what might be going on. Like, if you like, well, why am I listening to this? Why is this guy defending me? Right? Because I mean, I've got people watching on X right now. I mean, I think they might be watching. I think they might watch later. I mean, like, who knows where else this video I might show or it might go up to. Like, what I do on the internet and my reach isn't just to the people that this guy is backing me against. But what this has to do with is racism from this group that I'm talking about. And this is the point of this live stream that has a weird title. All right. Let's continue.
I don't see why you were so intrigued on why I stick with Terry and why you needed to type in here first. Terry should have typed in here first. Do you agree with that? I bet you don't. I bet you see her as a stalker because you both go to the same channel. How ignorant is that? That's ignorance at its finest. Terry has defended my precious black race. You call it black. I am a lot of things. So, but yes, black is strong. Black is dominant. And it is what it is. When I establish my dominance, you know what you need to do. You just sit there and listen. You have no choice. You ain't popping up on panel. I know that for damn sure. I was actually going to entitle this, I Stick with Terry and Tams. But I'm stuck with Tams quite a bit. So she already knows. And I've actually stuck with Blazin until Blazin wanted to call me racial slurs. She thought it was real cute. I show that to people in life, Blazin, and they're just amazed that you could get up there and say the things you did. To me, UD, your favorite boy. Do you get the joke yet? Your favorite boy? Well, in due time, you'll understand what's going on. But to everybody who wants to have a great stream, I'm going to give you some background on what Blazing Scar has done. I see you just won't stop. And you really do like to promote racism on your channel. I saw your, I don't know who this was, your buddy up there, Igor. I saw Igor. And you are so filthy and allowed that on your channel. Filthy. You think it's funny. It's a funny little thing to you. How is racism in a negative way funny? You want to explain that to us? You've been getting a pass since the very beginning. Since you said I was working with a woman who grooms teenage girls, what the fuck? You want to explain that? I just want to know what was going through your mind to type those things. We have poor AJM, he's in the dark. You have to prove what you said. I don't have to prove a damn thing to you. The proof is in the pudding. This blazing chick won't answer that question, and I'm starting to get a little nervous. Why would she say I work with a woman who grooms teenage girls? You know, you're not far off from Denise Mato. And Terry, you might get a kick out of this. A lot of what Blazing is doing is just for this lady. A lot of it. No one really knew who you were, who you was. Is that correct? I don't know. I think if I said it, who you was, they might get a little more excited. He's talking finally like a black person. Do you guys have a problem that I speak like an American? Is that your problem? I know it's not me speaking white, because if I was to speak white, why wouldn't you take this into consideration? Well, if I was feeling bubbly in my belly, we would have had a carbonated beverage. You know what I'm saying? Why isn't that the standard for white? No, I speak like an American, guys. It's not white. Sorry. A lot of you have not gotten away from your TVs and social media to figure out where the races are because you're too busy scared of them. And that's what it's about. If you can prove me wrong, I would love that. But I don't know if Terry's interested in listening to how what's up, Angela? But I don't know if Terry's interested in to know how this all came about. It's really a short story. Or maybe I can drop those videos again, Blazing. You know, the ones you cry about. He drops those every year. Why? Christmas time is coming up. It's like an annual thing. You mad about certain things, Blazing? Your interest? Okay, I'll let you know how I came across Blazing Scar. So here we go with this again. I've done this many times. And since you're here, kind of new to the channel, and she's not stalking you because she's subbed my channel, She's intrigued on why you would call such a gracious, wholesome gentleman that dreaded N-word. She's probably thinking to herself, he doesn't really seem like an N-word. And I was actually going to take the liberty, since Terry's kind of new here, put myself on camera so she can validate who she's hearing this stuff from. Now, Terry, I'm kind of shy, so it will only be for a few minutes. But just so you know who you're dealing with, we can bust out the pen, take a couple puffs, reminisce on Blazing Scumbag, who honestly should be showered, and I mean showered in white guilt. No problem. She needs this. She needs an intervention. And we're the perfect team to give it to her, right, Terry? And this is what we're going to do.
Yes.
I'm going to make sure this blazing scumbag is going to be showered, drenched in white guilt. This is my new job on this planet. I'm not saying it's just blazing. I'm going to get everybody who wants to talk about Black people, who wants to talk about my skin color, and more importantly, who wants to talk about my hoodie. I saw what you did there, Terry, and I was in shock. And this is why these guys focus so much on the hood. They're all racist. Very disappointing, guys. So, without further ado, get all situated, and we are wearing the hood. Got a problem with that? You got a problem with that, Blazing Scum? You know, I was honestly going to get back. I was going to drop off the wagon. It's not coffee. Does that intrigue you guys? Urban Disciple gonna get drunk today. 9:07 in the morning. Oh, God. Not today. So I'm not gonna do that. Maybe I might just do it because you said no, and I'm a rebel by nature. Oh, I don't think so. I'm not even a drinker, but when you have company over, sometimes you gotta be a good host. And trust me, Urban Disciple is one of the best hosts. And we ain't even gonna be doing shit. We're gonna be getting to know each other intimately. And you're right, I don't need alcohol. This stuff is the devil, and we don't need it. What we do need is take time out, take a chill pill. We're going to reminisce on Blazing Scum for a minute. That's what we're going to be doing today. So this was around 2020, 2019. Well, first off, I heard through the grapevine that Blazing found me before Aaron Cox found me. I don't even have any words for that. It was around 2020. Some person, I think it was Becky Speaks Out at this point. I can't remember. I can't keep up with the names like that. This person came over, was being relatively nice and cool. The one thing that really stands out, I remember this person came out with this Kobe death video, and she put this fake footage of this helicopter crash that people were putting out. That was, oh my God, that was Kobe. And it was like a crash at the Grand Canyon. It wasn't even the Kobe stuff. Come to find out.
Okay, so let me just stop this here for a second. This is my take on what he's saying here, is that how conspiracies like this are passed around in this community. And my background was that I worked in radio that talked about a lot of conspiracies. And so, yeah, there was a commercial going around and people were sharing it. So I just want to give you that context because it sort of builds, again, we're talking about ideologies of certain groups, all right, that involves conspiracies, that involves a tinge of racism and white nationalism. So I'm going to continue here.
Thing is, she took it down, but that's one of the things I remember. Like, if she pushing disinformation right here on purpose, I'll let that slide. So we fast forward. I think we were in May of 2020, maybe like middle of May 2020. This person comes by, blazing. You know what she said to me? She said, "You work with a woman who grooms teenage girls." Now, what sucks is that I do have the spot, thanks to Miss Glitter Sparkles Juanita. I don't have the stream anymore. Even if I did.
Okay, so let me also fill in about that too a little bit. And, you know, I might skip it ahead a little bit here too, just in the context of time. No insult here to Urban Disciple. But another thing I want to point out is about, because this is basically defamation on the internet that's happening also in this group. So if you don't go along with the program, or if you're different than they are and you're, criticizing, let's say like I am right now, the community or an observation of the community, and how there is like an element of racism and targeting and really inappropriate things being shared on YouTube that really shouldn't be shared on YouTube. He's talking about how he met these people. And also one of the things that they do in their campaign, and it's also part of the right. It goes to basically MAGA if you want to go there. Intersects with like Jeffrey Epstein or what, and those things are true. Like, hey, we want to see the Epstein files. Let's get them. I think, like, personally, I think there's a cover up. Let's get it. I'm not satisfied with what's happening right now around the Epstein files. That's how I feel personally. But there's also these people that are attached to this right-wing sect of people that actually helped Trump get elected, and other things that I'm not willing to go into tonight, but let's just say that it did happen on January 6th. Like, it goes there. It's the underbelly of it. These people have YouTube channels. And they lost YouTube channels because they pushed that sentiment on there. And just like, again, I'm gonna mention too, behind some of this is a definite tactic that is used to target people on the internet. There's an article by the Daily Beast that goes into, it was called Shadowbox. It was used for hired, or the people involved with it who were on the board of directors of it were hired by Ed Butowski to do cyber guerrilla tactics on people. And a lot of the people that are running with this sentiment are also part of this. Part of like what's happening here. There's a lot of racism happening on YouTube right now. A lot.
You have the stream, I wouldn't have the comments because I didn't screen record my own stream. But she did. And where she started, thank God, Glitter Sparkles did it again. She got the most important parts. Now, to who, I don't know. I'm going to take the time out to actually answer Tams on the thing that You did open my eyes about a lot of these people. Excuse me, her being one of them. I didn't want to believe it, Tams, but it is true. Most of the things you said. I'm going to just leave you with that, and then we'll get back into the story. Because this is a short story. Because after her claiming that I work with a woman abuser grooming teenage girls, I lost my top. Years later. Didn't know why it was relevant at that time. Didn't even think she was talking to me. I'm like, who's even bringing that up? Who's doing that? Blazing's doing that. So months go by. She's still coming by. There's no problems, right? Her and a few others were on this live stream. December 23rd. I like to call it the Christmas Eve special. I'm getting off this cam. You've seen enough of me. You know who I am. I did this for Terry because Terry has never seen me speak, and I'm speaking to her. She just heard this voice. Like, who the fuck is behind that thing? Well, rage for me, RBC. This is pretty gross and perverted. See, the only one I think is perverted, Blazing, is you. Because you're in the chats. I haven't read your comments. You're getting all crazy.
So I'm gonna stop this right here.
You shouldn't do that.
And we're gonna take a break. Orlando's acting out at night. He acts out at night. Come here. So I'm gonna play some music because this will probably get him calmed down. Here's the second. This is a song, the other song that I created on Suno.com. All right. Oh,
It's a hashtag feud. The tension brews.
Welcome back to Not My Rabbit Hole. And I'm going to switch gears here to David Schurter at the 13:55 mark in this video. So hold on.
Myself because I tell myself that I'm just being paranoid. And so do you know how many times I have put myself in bad situations because I felt that the situation was wrong, that the person that I was dealing with was bad. Thomas is another example. You know, despite everything, I tried to be friends with them, telling myself I'm just being paranoid. Well, get out of there. Come on, I can't believe you're doing that right in front of me. I'm not paying them attention. So while I'm sitting here, they're going into the garbage can and they're pulling out my Kleenex because my sinuses have been terrible. I've been blowing my nose. So then he was sitting right in front of me, tearing up that Kleenex because he wanted attention. They are so spoiled. Thank you. I try to have a kind heart.
Okay, so that is David Schurter smacking his dog. Hold on, one more time. Let's go back. Let's go back. All right, here we go.
Well, get out of there. Come on, I can't believe you're doing that right in front of me. I'm not paying them attention. So while I'm sitting here, they're going into the garbage can and they're pulling out my Kleenex because my sinuses have been terrible. I've been blowing my nose. So then he was sitting right in front of me, tearing.
And that guy, okay, doxes his moderator. Here we go.
I wanted to come out and say, Smokey is right. He left some comments. I told him to reach out to Sherilyn. I didn't know who Smokey was. He was just someone in the chat on my blogs, but he had a compelling story. And Sherilyn thought that I should present it on here and start talking about survivor stories. She wanted me to get away from dealing with Isaac Cappy and all of the child trafficking and focus on the word. And we were going to focus on Smokey and his story and how he went to the word. So I told Smokey to reach out to that email address that Sherilyn had that she would never give me access to. And so they started talking. Then Sherilyn told me that I needed to talk to Smokey on the phone. And it was right after I chose, because I did a 3-way call with Smokey and Sherilyn during the phone call. I have my plate full. Let's just put it that way. And I trusted Sherilyn. Hey, Susan. Hey, Cognitive. So Smokey is right. I asked him to reach out to Sherilyn. What ended up happening is that Smokey started telling Sherilyn how he was connected to MS-13. And then I got pushed. Sherilyn pushed me, you really need to talk to Smokey. You really need to talk to Smokey. And I decided, okay, because I was going to start talking about it.
So anyway, recently this guy, let me go back to here. Hold on. David Schurter. Let's just play a little bit of what he said today. I'm pretty sure he said something about me today. Hold on.
Soon enough. but I'm going to read what Stefan, this isn't mine, this is Stefan Burns. But this is what we're facing. Solar activity, 2 hours, has been a 1.7x flare, a 1.2x flare, and now a new 5.1x flare. All of them launched powerful coronal mass injections towards Earth. G2 to G4 geomagnetic storm conditions are to be expected in less than 24 hours. And that spiked to a G4 or a G5 condition shortly afterwards, late November 12th, early November 13th. We're currently in an S2 radiation storm from the recent 5.1x flare. And triggered a ground level enhancement through the massive 10x increase in greater than 500 MeV proton flux, which was an ultra rare event. Japan is still at a much higher risk than normal for a magnitude 8 plus Earth megaquake, and the 3I Atlas accelerates in its release of interstellar material and plasma into our planetary environment. Geophysicist Stefan Burns wrote this. I have his link. It was upcoming. He was at the same time I was going on here because I just wanted to get my Tuesday out of the way. I have said repeatedly that the hand of God is about to fall upon humanity's heads. And people are doing all kinds of stupid shit. What people do not realize is that the darkness is here. And so when you have evil, dark thoughts and you plot out evil, dark things, just standing up to fulfill those thoughts and deeds, the darkness sees as intent. And it matters. It matters. Whether you succeed in your dark deeds or whatever, the only way to actually get away from that whole situation is to truly repent. Hey, Elizabeth. And forgiveness is not a given. Jesus forgives. Jesus forgives. That's true. The darkness does not. And in order for Jesus to forgive, we have to seek forgiveness. Seek me and you shall find me. You have to seek first. Doing evil, dark shit, the only way to get away from it is to repent. And right now, we're at the end. Life as we know it is about to seriously fucking change. The sun is fucking us up. Flat out. Flat the fuck out. People better start thinking about what's ahead as far as if you die, and think about your soul, because all the bullshit that we're all involved.
So David starts this show out, as you can tell, where it's very doomsday, which is a thing that he does. You know, the earth is burning, I-31 Atlas, and it's a solar flare, it's Beetlejuice, it's blah, 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 blah. And then he will go a little further into here. Let me see.
People, and then claim victimization.
Here we go.
But I have videos of fucking people at my house. Weird ass people. They don't have anything. And why? Because this Darvo thing is exactly what they do. They fucking victimize
No,
people.
it's a Darva thing, and Darva. Here, let me look this up really quick. Let me see, how much time do I have left of this episode? Okay, cool. Darvo. Is it Darvo or Darva? Acro. I put it on my. Let me just do it really quick. Okay, yeah. Deny, attack, reverse, victim, and offender. And this is a pattern that a lot of these guys do, especially David Schurter. So there was somebody who identified that, presented that acronym. He's got a YouTube channel, put it on their community page. I shared it on my community page. And this is what David is talking about here.
And then claim victimization.
And by the way, if you're looking at this for the first time, welcome. David is a self-proclaimed satanic ritual abuse survivor. And he has been accusing a list of people of trafficking children, murdering children, just really awful things, including me. And apparently, I'm partying with people, the barely legal people in Las Vegas, even though there isn't a barely legal in Las Vegas. But he says it over and over again as if it's real. So let's continue.
That's what they do. They don't have anybody showing up at their door, but I sure the fuck do. And why do I have people showing up at my door? Because they have fucking doxed me over and over and over and over. Over and over and over and over.
But David has doxed me. He's put like my full legal name before I use my full legal name in print and things that Thomas Schoenberger says. And I'm probably going to show that tonight on his blog because he's linked it.
They're all fucking connected. You know this thing about Johnny Dub? What I find funny, Thomas, is that you guys can't remember his name.
Johnny Dub is a guy named Brian Ward who is behind that profile, and he emails him all through the night and shares emails third party from Thomas Schoenberger to David Schurter, of which he posts and talks about these people, the same things Thomas Schoenberger says, even though he says that, he's being harassed and, he's a pedophile and all this kind of stuff, and that we're all with Thomas Schoenberger.
Is it Johnny Dub? Is it Brian Ward? Is it John Ward? The name just changes, but then fuck, what's in a name? What's in a name? Shit. It's all bullshit. And it's all because they're trying to hide their child trafficking bullshit. And the reason why my sheriff helps them is because he and his family and a whole lot of other fucking well-connected people in Harlan are all connected to a meth operation. And they're trying to hide that. All of this evil fucking shit. All of it. And I have lost patience. You guys see me when I'm on here, and I always seem irritated, but usually I'm not irritated, But I do have to say this morning, even though I finished putting up plastic on windows because it's wintertime, and I have to do whatever I can to conserve electricity, it's been irritating. But I just want people to know that it doesn't make any difference if I am aware of the shit that people are plotting against me or not. The problem for people is the darkness is aware. And you want to know what? I don't know if it's me or if it's all those fucking dead little boys that they sacrificed to cast protection rituals on me as a kid, which they said was being done in my honor. And I was under the age of 10, and they're all adults. So thinking that I'm fucking Rambo at the age of, under the age of 10, and I can handle a bunch of adults is just fanciful thinking. That's all I'm saying. I don't know what it is. But the problem for people is the darkness becomes aware. And it fucks people who fuck with me. That's why I never do anything. I don't have to. I never do. Because the darkness does it for me. That's why I don't deal with it. You know? Those fucking people showing up at my house. Their intent, the darkness is well aware of now. That dude that showed up, that had sunglasses on and it was dusk, you know, he wears his sunglasses at night with the hat on his head, and his hand never left his pocket. His left hand never left his pocket of his hoodie that he was wearing, and he stood awfully close so you couldn't see him when he was right at the camera. But of course the camera caught him walking up the stairs, you know, because the cameras fucking work. I have cameras outside, I have cameras inside, I have cameras hidden, because I will find the motherfuckers who are coming into my house. I'll catch your asses. I will. Things are shifting and changing, you know? That's how, you know, I will. And when I do it, I won't go to Neil. I'm just going to put the shit all over the internet. I'll just put it all, you know? But I think we're at the end. I think we're at the end, you know? I think we're at the end. And I have people very focused on me that are bad people with bad intent. And they think they won't be held accountable. They think that they actually can just do whatever the fuck they want. They always fucking do. And I tell them all the time, I wouldn't do it. You won't like the consequences, but they never listen. Thomas never listened. Nobody ever listens. Doug never listened. I told him. I've told him for over a decade. Never fucking listens. Doesn't change the fact. Doesn't change the fact at all. And then they always whine like bitches and make themselves out to be the victim. They're going to find themselves victimized by the dark. They will find themselves victimized by the dark. Jesus forgives, but the dark has no interest in forgiveness. It has only interest in accountability. And intent, it just takes one action. To stand up to do evil intent is enough as far as the dark is concerned. It's as far, because you're obviously focused on fucking dark anyway. So standing up is enough. In order for forgiveness, we need humility and to actually seek redemption. Seek. You have to seek forgiveness. It's not an automatic. You're not just going to be forgiven because you're you. That you're so fucking special that everything you did, you're just going to be forgiven. You have to seek it, and you have to legitimately seek it. There are parameters to that behavior. But intent is enough to get you in the dark. And everyone will be equal in the dark. Everyone will suffer. That's what the dark is all about. But with that said, it is funny, Thomas, how bipolar you are. No less than a week ago, you were saying that Johnny Dove was a turncoat and how you guys were enemies. And then yesterday's emails, the dude's threatening me with violence. Oh, he's lethal. And he's protecting Thomas. Protecting Thomas from fucking what? Nobody even knows where the fuck you are, dude. I've certainly not doxed you. I don't call you. I do have your phone number. And the reason why I didn't block Daniel Dowd for most of those is because if you go look at the fucking titles, you'll see that he called me from blocked numbers. But why block him? Why block any of you? Leave the shit so I can just show it. That's the whole. I haven't changed my MO. I have done this for well over a decade. The fact that you guys think that I'm going to do something different isn't mental illness. The definition of mental illness is doing something over and over and over and expecting a different result each time. It's never happened. And for those of you who are thinking that you want to fuck me or fuck me up, this group has tried over and over and over, repeatedly, and has failed repeatedly. And I mean fucking Washington and Erling and here, you know? No, they don't know me. It's not easy to fuck me. I'm just telling you. Otherwise, I would have already been murdered in jail or lobotomized. That's what Doug always threatens. You know, Thomas was threatening that I was going to go into the jail and it would be Neil Gross's jail. Ooh, I better be afraid of that one. You know, threatening that fucking Neil Gross was going to allow me to go to jail and get murdered in jail. I bet Neil just loves them. The shit that they do that actually gets Neil Gross involved, I bet he fucking just adores every one of them. Oh, he loves the fact that I connect him with this group. I'm sure. But he is connected to this group. He has done everything he can to is connected.
You can't hear me. Sorry. Yeah, I might have had like maybe not the right video there. And you know, I meant to do a different thing there, but that's okay. That's kind of a sample of David Scherter and what he does. We're all part of his diatribe. The most recent one, oh shoot. Oh wait. What? Why am I not on the screen? Okay. Shoot. I'm like, why am I not in here? Okay. All right. I was like really close to the camera. I'm like, oh my God, that was horrible. All right. So since I don't have that much time, I do want to go into a little bit of, well, actually, I could do a little bit longer, but I want to go into the, because like she's part of it too, the Toothless Ninja, or, you know, she goes by Good Stuff Ninja. So we've got, you know, I've got a different opinion. I have a different name for her, the Toothless Ninja. But she has a video here, and I'm gonna go a bit in because she talks about. No, this isn't it. Let me see. Videos. Yeah, it's the one about the cream cheese. She talks about, like, she makes this video. Okay. She makes this video to help people who are, you know, struggling at EBT. Okay. And as she goes, she refers it, you know, she refers to people on EBT as being ghetto girls. So here she's showing the cheese. I'm going to go past here. Okay, now let's go like around here. I think it's where, somewhere in here it starts to happen. Okay, let me come into here there.
Basically, this little...
Oh, yeah. We're still not there yet. So she made her own cream cheese, which is pretty cool. Okay, here we go.
About the same price. I didn't use a full gallon of milk to make that. With the whole milk, I'm going to make a lot more from 1 gallon. I think I used somewhere between a quart and half gallon because I just took the milk that was left. And when you make...
Oh, sorry. I stopped it. I just wanted... It's got low volume, so I want to show the words.
Cream cheese, you can use milk that's turning. It's better to use older milk than fresher milk to make cheese. So it's a good thing to do if you discover some milk is on the edge of turning. But anyway, I'm excited. I just did this the day before yesterday, and I'm enjoying a nice lunch of the last part of my endless soup. If you look at my video, it's listed as being for restricted audiences, from adults, mature audiences, because I was talking about the food stamp panic that we just had, and I referred to some videos that everyone's been looking at and going, oh my God, and I referred to them as ghetto girls, which is not racist, because I got plenty of black friends who will identify certain people as ghetto girls, and ghetto girls can be white. I know a few of those too. In fact, I think if you're in YouTube...
Okay, so she's calling people on EBT ghetto girls. Everybody who's on EBT is ghetto, basically. She's still doing a slam on people that are economically disadvantaged. And yeah, there is a racial overtone to that, even though, like she says, she has black friends. And that's so stereotypical, like, oh, I've got black friends and blank, blank, blank. And so I'm going to give you an insult because I have black friends. That's what she's saying here.
And around the drama circles, very much, you probably run into some. Anyway, doesn't matter. The point is, YouTube decided they didn't have a reason to really take the video down. There was no hate speech. It was nothing like that. But there was the term ghetto girl. So it's going to treat you like you're looking for a Brand X, an X-rated video. I'm going to have to do that whole thing over again without the ghetto girls, because that's the one where I explain the recipe for endless stew, where you start out with
but she just did it again, which is like unbelievable to me. And so anyway, that is some of like what is, let me try this other thing. How do I look over here? Oh my goodness. I'm looking at it in vertical too as well, because the StreamYard has that new Mars thing. Anyway, so that's my show tonight. I wanted to do more. I wanted to show David Schroeder's blogs, but maybe that's for another live stream. Happy Veterans Day. Thanks for tuning in. I had a bunch of looky-loos tonight. But that's okay. I don't mind any of that. I hope you found some value out of this show. See you next time.
He ain't no Saint Germain, no clown, no name. He plays the game, sharp as a flame. Who's to blame for the stolen fame? A shadow dance in the devil's frame. Go in the rabbit hole, losing control, spinning wild on a stripper pole. Laughing loud, all for the lows, but baby, that's not my rabbit hole. City lights and sirens scream, truth and lies blend like a dream. Wicked smiles, a clever scheme, chasing gold in the neon gleam. Go in the rabbit hole, losing control, spinning wild on the stripper pole. Laughing loud, all for the lows, but baby, that's not my rabbit hole. Fast, can't find the ground. Echoes of chaos all around. You chose this dance, this mad parade, but not every choice gets accolades. Go in the rabbit hole, losing control, spinning wild on the stripper pole. Laughing loud all for the lows, but baby that's not my rabbit hole. Laughing loud all for the lows, but baby that's not my rabbit hole. City lights and sirens scream, truth and lies blend like a dream. Wicked smiles, a clever scheme, chasing gold in the neon gleam. Going down the rabbit hole, losing control. Spinning wild on the stripper pole, laughing loud all for the lows. But baby, that's not my rabbit hole.